Hello. We're going to go over the work that you did on Monday. I know you got some feedback on Quizziz, but I wanted to let you know what I thought as well. So let's take a look at it and see how you did. So these are actually problems that would have been in your M-Space book. We're going to do 3 through 12 and go over the exit ticket. So 1/12 and 1/3 have common numerators, or they're unit fractions because their numerators are 1. When you have that, then you want to compare the denominators and think about those denominators. If you had a cake cut into 12 pieces and another cake cut into 3 pieces, where would the larger piece be? Well, 1/3 would be larger, so 1/12 is less than 1/3. Remember, the bigger the denominator, the smaller the piece. If we look at number 4, we have common numerators again, so we think about the denominators, which would have the smaller piece, something cut into 8ths, or something cut into 4ths. And I can't get a hold of my pen here. So I think I'm going to have to show you all my buttons here in order to be able to do this. So if we talk about 3 little pieces to 3 bigger pieces, those 3 smaller pieces have to be less than 3/4. 2/3 and 2/4, we've got the common numerator again. So we stop and think about the denominators. 4 means that we've got more pieces cut, so they're smaller pieces. So 2/3 would be greater than 2/4. Thinking about those pieces. On number 6, we've got our first common denominator strategy. This means that with the denominators the same, these pieces are exactly the same size. So if they're exactly the same size, we focus in on the numerator. 11 is greater than 6. So we would put in the greater than symbol. When you have that common denominator, you simply need to focus on the numerators. For 7, we've got common denominators again, focusing in on the numerators. 1/5 would be less than 3/5. For number 8, we've got common numerators or unit fractions here because the numerator is 1. So we have to think about those denominators. 100 is a larger number, so it's going to have a very small piece, as opposed to cutting a cake into 10 pieces. Those would be much larger, so 1/10 is larger than 1/100. 3/16 and 15/16, we've got the common denominator. With the common denominator, we just focus on the numerators, and 3 is less than 15. For number 10, we've got 5s. Those are common numerators. So think about the denominator and the size of the piece. The larger the denominator, the smaller the piece. So 5/8 is less than 5/7. For number 11, again, we've got the common denominator, which means we simply need to focus on the numerators. 4 is less than 20 because the fraction pieces are exactly the same size. For number 12, we're back to a common numerator or a unit fraction. 6 is a larger number. 6 would be the smaller piece. So 1/5 would be greater than 1/6. So that's where we end up. We get to your exit ticket, and nobody is surprised that Mario got it correct. The Mario I know always does a top-notch job. The reason Mario is correct is because the fractions have the same numerator. And because they have the same numerator, 11ths are a bigger piece than the 12ths when one whole is divided into those numbers of equal pieces. Not a lot of difference, but there would be some difference. So what I'd like for you to do now is to go on to Math 180 online, spend 5 minutes on the Brain Arcade or 15 minutes on the zones. Remember, the more you work, the more you grow your brain and your skills, and the more you grow your brain and your skills, the better you're going to be at math, and that's our whole goal. So we've taken about 5 minutes of your time. So maybe you can even spend a little bit more time than that on Math 180. Take care.